Hello everyone, this is Greyshot17 bringing you a Company for Us to Replay, brought to you by Bushphalis? Bushphalis? Anyway, the yellow British guy, which I will call Boosh. Or Boos. Boos, not, yeah, Boos, there we go, Boos. And then the Pingit, oh my god, the Pingin? I'm just calling you Ping, and you're Boos. Sure. We also have Pashok and the Omega Gamer. Let's check their ranks, and this is a 2v2 on Vox Farmlands. Sorry, it's wow, okay, so both lower level guys compared to my last game, which I find it funny. Someone's like, oh, they're a bunch of scrubs, and they were 3-star players. But, you know, whatever. Apparently these guys would be super scrubs then, right? Right? They both would be. But the advantage, of course, would go to these guys, because, again, they have higher ranked players. Anyway. This is again, 2v2 on Vox Farmlands. I also just going to pause this for a moment because I do want to bring something to your guys' attention. Please, please, I beg of you. It's like, for those who are like, hey, Greyshot, you know, why wasn't the Saturday's game a viewer submitted replay? First off, I'm like, it was viewer submitted from my brother. And before you say, oh, hey, Greyshot, you know, that game, it's like, why didn't you do my game, or why didn't you do this game or that game? I'm like, first off, I get a ton of replays. Secondly, when I go through those replays, sometimes, as much as people are like, oh my god, this is a great game, or best comeback, or whatever, it's just like, even though I really like the game, it's amazing how a game where it's like, here's an example where there was 4v4, and the allies push the Axis all the way back to their base, and it's like, this is going to be a great comeback. I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. And then literally the quote-unquote comeback is the enemy team loses to players, and they turn to AIs. And I'm just like, those two players who left were the best players on that team. I'm like, no duh, there's going to be a comeback. The AI is not going to be so concentrated enough to attack an enemy base or coordinate against 4 players shooting in one direction. No, it's just gonna run around and do stupid things. But anyway, I just want to get off because please just make sure it's a good game you send me, and then you can see your replay, most likely. And I thought that replay with my brother was actually pretty cool because, again, it was a interesting map because it was a more close quarters map, but it showed again how some co-op play and some awesome special weapons and abilities really put the enemy in their place when used correctly. But that being said, there's some replays where I really want to show it because it has some amazing Firefly gameplay or some amazing Assault Grens gameplay or something like that, and I just can't because it's just not. It just turns into an AI fest, and I hate that. If you have an AI and you win, then that's something to be proud of. But if you win against an AI and be like, this is great, and you send it to me like, this is going to be amazing, do not expect me to even post it. Because I am just like, no. It's like, no. This is... Unless it's in like the last 5 minutes of the game, then I'm like, alright, that's fine. That person just rage quit. But when you're literally the enemy's winning, and then 2 of them drop, or 3, and you're like, well, we can come back, and you have this amazing comeback. Yeah, it's maybe not because of amazing skill. I'm not saying it's not saying that individual did not, or a group of individuals did not have amazing skill. And trust me, this isn't just one replay; it's multiple replays. It could just be, you know, bad. It's just the circumstances dealt. Anyway, let's look at this game, shall we? Not previous games, because I want to highlight these guys. Heavy cover, very nice. Lure them into a nice little kill zone area, make them push up, and just use the British, again, infantry section in really nice cover to increase firepower and just push that Volk squad back. Now, you could be asking, like, what is this guy doing, the Omega Gamer? Why is he pushing up here if the allies are all the way up here? He's cutting off their line. So as you can see right now, currently the allies, although they have the fuel, currently do not have access to that supply chain of fuel. So they currently are not getting those resources. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a really nice tactic to do, but again, sometimes they can overextend your troops as well. As we can see here, this guy currently doesn't really have much of his own territory captured or fortified, so that is a negative, because then you're like pushing up so far. But if it works, it works, and so far it's showing that, wow, this is actually a good play. Nice sniper picking off the infantry section. Remember, it's a 4-man squad, so similar to the Germans, the sniper can be very deadly to them, wiping out again very quickly your units compared to like conscripts or riflemen, where since there are more men, a sniper is less effective because there's more people to kill before you squad wipe a squad. We have a Kubo and Volk squad pushing up, but again, nice use of heavy cover, so like keeping them back. If this guy runs up and throw a fire grenade, that could be an issue, but right now the incendiary grenade is not available because of no building, so these guys are actually going to have a pretty good job just holding them back, which is very nice. Again, heavy cover against medium cover, and so far these two squads are just have enough firepower. Enough for one squad, honestly. They just own these guys. Oh, nice shot. Okay, I think one squad here and 3 over. Yep. He has to pull back now. We have more Volks coming in, but again, these guys still firing at a decent clip, so they're still able to hold these guys back. And if they get a grenade, like right now, of course, you have these guys running, I think, like no to negative cover. Now they're close range with the Kubo. It's going to be a big issue, so we will have to retreat. But that being said, that was a pretty good defense line that he had, and pretty much allowed for a great, pretty fantastic, like push in holding this key fuel and other things. Even though that this Pashok guy was literally sending every single man he possibly could. With that being said, well, he was sending everything he could over here. We can see on the midpoint that he had actually other infantry section and MGs, and is currently capturing that point. So even though, there's one Sturm Pioneer squad hiding in the distance. Oh yeah, that's gonna work well. Anyway, we can actually double check, and we can see here that there's been 2 doctrines picked. We have the Luftwaffe ground forces. This is okay. The MG-34 is okay. Fallschirmjägers behind enemy lines can be good, but you need to rank them up to be great. Airborne assault kind of sucks unless you use it really, really at a great moment where there's a lot of forces there and you're kind of middle of a battle. And the tank traps can be good at like pushing enemy one way. I don't really like the flak emplacement. It's good, but you kind of need to support it. But anyway, ping picks tank counter infantry section. I almost never see these things being used. I wonder if I'm actually curious about them because I almost never see anyone use these because it's just like, I'll just build normal infantry section. But apparently, whatever, they have their own AT rifles. I think they're 300. Yeah, 300. So they're only slightly more expensive. So that's actually not a bad deal. Nice Panzerschreck kind of pushing back that. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Universal Carrier is great when equipped with the Flamethrower, but that being said, it is still a weak unit, so you need to kind of keep it back and support it. Yeah, even though the negative cover, there's still way more people here, and that Grenadier squad's going to be pushed back pretty easily. Sniper should probably, yep, he's holding fire so that way he doesn't get spotted, giving himself some distance, and then we'll start probably picking off some infantry. Actually, we can actually see here he's actually pushed back and captured this or decapped that territory. Pretty nice, but wow, and actually we can see here that the Allies are doing a pretty good job. They're actually, once again, disconnecting the Axis territory. So, kind of like what the Axis were doing. But that being said, Sturm Pioneers are here, close range, and being supported by this. So, yeah, there's no chance to disconnect that point. But at least they're disconnecting the 2 points over here. So, not too bad. Again, supply chains is very important in COH2. More so than just winning a battle. If you can cut off the enemy's supply, you can really hamper them. Probably should move more infantry, although maybe he's trying to heal them. Not sure. Not bad. Vickers MG over here guarding this point. The problem is with this MG-34 is pretty weak compared to Vickers. Vickers will tear an MG-34 apart unless there's armor-piercing rounds. Okay, let's see this. So, it has throw heat grenades. Oh, okay, so they actually have AT grenades. Huh. Isn't that the same as this? Yeah, they have the same upgrades. So I guess it's just they just get AT rifles. Whatever. Good for them. Good for them. At least it will help them better versus AT and Kubels. We have a UC carry coming up. MG's kind of trying to push that back, but unfortunately it has no armor-piercing rounds. If it had armor-piercing rounds, it could kill this in 2 seconds flat, but since it does not, it has to retreat. It's one of the best upgrades you can get in MG-42. A nice armor-piercing round selection to really dampen the enemy's hopes and dreams, especially when they deploy light armor or medium armor. I don't care what you say, having a couple MG-42s with armor-piercing rounds and a Sherman or a T-34 is really going to put the enemy in its place and will do some damage to it. Or even like a T-70. Anyway, we see the Allies are coming and pushing over here, but Ping unfortunately forgot about the incendiary fire grenade, which again hits a specific area and causes pretty much an area effect damage, which will hit pretty much everything around it and cause a lot of fire damage to enemy in that area. For example, the heavy cover. So he had to pull back and go into pretty much 0 to no cover, which means that these guys are most likely going to win, especially with this MG34 being placed. Even though I don't like the MG34, it's still well supported with other infantry. Will do quite a bit. We can see these tank rounds. They're actually doing a pretty good at sniping infantry, so pretty good for him. And that's actually pretty cool that actually will snipe infantry. We have some smoke coming down, so our native artillery from his base will start coming in. And he actually, the issue is this. As much as I like that ability, he only has one RD gun. Alright? So it's only one gun firing in that direction. So while I do like it, and it will kind of like, again, hurt that area and whatever, it's still just one, and I do mean just one artillery piece hitting that area. And it isn't a very powerful RD ability, as shown here. It looks powerful, but honestly, unless it hits a direct hit with infantry, I almost never see it do really any substantial damage. But whatever, it'll maybe hurt the enemy and at least keep them, keep their units scattered. So I guess that is a positive thing. Oh, good, it did 1 damage. So whatever, good. Wow, very lucky. Anyway, we can see here the UC carrier moving up, pretty much clearing out these MGs and buildings. Yeah, does extra damage against units in buildings, because that's what a flamethrower is good for, clearing out buildings. Nice Vickers. That's burning, and we have some round engineers moving in. Oh, there we go, armor-piercing rounds. Then is when you activate it. Come on, activate it. You better activate it. Pass shock, activate it. Pass shock, activate it. And pass shock, activate it. You're going to lose that MG. No, let's not do the smart thing. Kill the universal carrier in like 2 seconds with armor-piercing rounds. No, that's a terrible idea. Anyway, it looks like the Axis now control that field. This map is so wide open, Vox Farmlands. I don't necessarily like it. It's good if you want to hit enemies multiple directions because there's so much open territory. You can literally go through multiple pathways. There's still choke points like this area, which is good for mines, or this, and like you can still put areas where it's like, if this Luftwaffe ground forces guy wanted to be smart, like do something really, really smart, what he might do is actually put tank traps around this area, so he actually has some heavy cover that can be used against him if the enemy pushes too much. But again, it would at least be some heavy cover for him to have a better advantage over the quote-unquote British infantry. Because again, the British infantry section is very, very powerful infantry and can definitely be a issue for grenadiers or Storm Pioneers or Volk squads trying to move up and try to take them out. So you really need to make sure that you're well equipped with your men, and you have some people to take these guys out, because they're really, really hard. Especially with this guy, what he's doing, he's having a lot of upgrades with his own men. So we can see the bolster infantry squad that increases it by 1 man, which is pretty good firepower. And also, this guy's making sure he has a lot of specials. So we can see here we have the Bren. We have the tank hunters. So these guys are very, very well equipped in a good fighting force. So they need to do something very smart. Now, this is a bad example of something you should do. He's rushing up. Honestly, you should probably get in heavy cover and just fire long range. Nice fire grenade, though. I'll give him credit. But that being said, he is pushing up on enemy territory with really no support in a straight line. So this Vickers machine gun is really going to suppress him and cause some major damage. So, you know, pretty good for him. Also, we're engineers kind of shredding them as they get close. So, yeah, kind of a bad idea. He's probably going to lose this unit. Yep. Kind of a waste, honestly, unless this MG does die, which I don't see happening. Yep, just retreat and you'll be okay. At that point, it was just probably better to retreat. Fallschirmjäger's kind of being deployed, but kind of a waste in my opinion. The MG kind of suppressed them and had everything under control. You may have to worry about this, but honestly, you probably should have saved the 440 munitions for something else. For example, you could have saved it. Got yourself a mechanized HQ over here, and then you could have easily, I don't know, had enough manpower to get a support gun or something. I feel like a support gun of this area, hanging the MGs would be a pretty good, or hanging the large infantry blobs would be a good ability to have. But alas, you do not. You're just going to rely on infantry, and overall, the British are going to beat you. Now, that being said, the Fallschirmjägers are very good, and if you can get these guys ranked up, that's great. However, once the large pocket of British infantry comes back along, you're going to have a very big issue if that's your best infantry unit, and that's the only infantry unit you have. I love how this thing is just moving around, killing everything. Finally, you use armor-piercing rounds, but he's just going to back up because he knows exactly what you're doing. And the fire over here is, again, still hurting your building. So if we look inside right now, they're still burning in here. We can still see the fire. So your guys are still taking damage. But as shown here, armor-piercing rounds, instant wipes. instant wipes this thing, which is great. It's seriously great. I don't know why more people don't use armor-piercing rounds. 5-star approval from Greyshot 117. We can see here the Omega Gamer, again, going with more infantry, trying to counteract the infantry section by just getting more infantry, and I'm assuming he's going to try to save up for a Panther. Yep, we can see here he went for Panzer II. I don't think he's back at his base. He could be. He might be waiting. Okay, yeah, he's just going to get a Panzer IV, most likely. Okay, not bad, not bad. We look over here. We can see the Fallschirmjägers, wow, destroying this infantry. Very nice. Again, fight over here, force them retreat, and then the Fallschirmjägers just pick them off. Not bad. Again, now they have to deal with Brent. Yep, it's kind of an even fight. Again, Fallschirmjägers are very expensive, but again, you get ranked up and stuff, or get a nice bundle grenade on the unit. It's really, really good. The Omega Gamer, let's see, his doctrine is Spearhead Doctrine. I do like this doctrine. Panzer Tactician and Reconnaissance Overflight is great. Fragmentation Mod is okay. I would say it's more useful for hitting. You can do a recon pass at the enemy base and hit some infantry kind of back at base while they're not really paying attention, or maybe get like pinning down armor in a big group of a blob or some type. But if you're going for emplacements, Mortar Half Track's the best thing to go because you can use fire and kill it, or the Tiger Tank, which is a good overall take. Oh my god, insta-wipe that unit. Centaur, that's exactly what it's meant for. It's just insta-wiping stuff. And this is why, again, you really try to make sure you don't use a Panzer Track. You don't tell this unit to attack something. Yeah, we have a Vickers machine gun going out. Yeah, like that. For example, as you can see, he told him to attack this, and the Panzer Track's fired, which means Centaur has a few seconds to now move in and kind of push that back. Wow, did he really steal the Universal Carrier? That's pretty epic, the fact that he actually stole this thing. That is pretty fantastic. Because that's a pretty good unit to have. It'll be even better when you get the upgrade for crew vehicle repairs, but whatever. The Axis, again, as you can see here, trying to go around and cut off that fuel. Pretty good, but as we can see over here, Ping is coming back with a large infantry force and kind of taking over this area, so they need to do something very, very quickly to counter that. And although they have a Panzer IV in development, they really need more AT and better weapons. Okay, Panzer headquarters. And I do like this guy. He is putting his headquarters farther away. That was my big complaint of the last replay. They kind of put them, the enemy, or the Axis players put them a little too closely together, which was a big issue. Okay, nice job. Just retreat it. Don't want it to be hurt by the Centaur. Good play. You could have probably just walked to the way, but, you know, just be extra safe. That's fine. And your actually HQ is here, so you'll instantly retreat to this location. So it's actually not as far as your base, so that's pretty good. Nice bow for location. Actually, I take it back. That's probably a bad... wait, let me think about this. Well, it's good to have a Boffer guarding both points. I do like that. There's a lot of brush over here, so you can have a lot of infantry. Like, if he wanted to, he could have Volk squads jump the fence here, come this way, and throw a lot of fire grenades without this thing even seeing the units. So that could be an issue. Actually, right now, the Axis are currently in a pickle, because right now, both areas we can see right now of fuel are under Axis Allied control. So right now the Allies are going to get a lot of fuel very quickly, and that's something they would need to counter very, very soon. I love how the Universal Carrier is like, we can fight him, we can win, we can win, we can do this. And the Panzer IV is like, I got this. And since it is a Centaur versus a Panzer IV, the Centaur is fantastic at fighting infantry, not so much against armor, unless you have like the super special, but whatever. They can do a little bit more. Panzer IV keeping up with it. Wow, that was a nice bounce. Scout car just picking these guys off from afar. Boom. And one foul swoop. Wait, since this guy... It's funny because this guy has, quote-unquote, the Special Weapons Regiment, which means he should have, you know, anti-tank units. He really doesn't have all that many. Which... Wow, okay, they did a little, but not all that much. Which... Wow, why are you retreating it? Also, why didn't you give it the MG42? But I digress. We have another Centaur over here. So, okay, so both these Allied players wanted to go Centaur to pretty much kill the infantry, because my guess is they thought they could go the Centaur route and clear the infantry enough to where the enemy wouldn't have enough time to get armor and win the game. That's my infantry. So, like, move in Centaurs, clear the infantry, win the game. But the problem is right now is the fact that, well, as you can see here, the Panzer IV just moves in and kind of wrecks house. Luckily, this guy was again, was it Boosh? Boos? Yeah, Boost was smart enough to get an AT gun to cover his guy, so he's at least in a better position. He actually has 2 AT guns, so actually he's in a pretty good position. But right now, we're in actually a very similar situation to where before, where we can see like now the Axis have this big pocket right over here of like forces, and they really need to spread out. Seeing if there's anything. Was that Mary Poppins? Mary Moppins. Oh, funny. Haha. Hilarious. Very cool. Very cool indeed. So they were able to at least recapture the fuel. So the Axis now have something. Kind of. And there is some fuel points going on both sides. So it's kind of, I mean, the Allies still have more per se because they have more territory. But the Axis aren't out of the game just yet. Nice bundle grenade pushing me out of the cover, allowing the Fallschirmjägers to really do a nice job and keep hammering these guys. We can see here doing a lot of damage. And once again, doing the very smart thing. What the heck was that? You know that's us. Wow, really? It disables vehicle weapons? I didn't even know that was a thing. Huh, you learn something new every day. That's a very hazardous smoke grenade. Another artillery strike coming in. And this guy, Boost, went the Raw Artillery Regiment. The Valentine tank, my god if I can speak, is a good tank. Oh my god. How does it feel to have the Universal Carrier doing artillery over here? I'm not doing it. Well, yeah, I can't speak. Doing a flame on your own MG while artillery's coming down. That must suck. I do like how this guy's like, well, okay, artillery's coming in. Let me just move in and capture that territory. And then he's like, oh my god, never mind. He's like, okay, just either hold fire or... At that point, I would probably retreat. Whatever. Oh, this artillery's going to hit it. Nope, very lucky. See, that's what I mean. With 2 positions, that's a lot better. A lot more firepower. Actually, what doctrine does he have? I'm actually curious. He has the hammer specialization, I should probably say better. And even though it's like, this allows him to get the Comet, which good against all targets. And then also, remember, he still has the Crocodile, which is good against infantry and good against medium armor. So he actually has a good combo for both a heavy armored tank that can soak up a lot of damage and a tank that can soak up not as much, but deal more damage, which is very, very good. Actually, I beg to differ. Probably the Crocodile can dish out more damage, if I had to guess. Let's see. We have some Overwatch or concentration barrage. Order all available 25-pounder howitzers in the British Army HQ to quickly fire to targeted location. All right. So where are you firing? Wow, Universal Carrier just mopping those MGs. Double ET guns, so that can be a big issue if that thing pushed up. Again, kind of missed. So we pull back. Axis pushing up more. Vickers kind of guarding this point, so probably will... You can obscure the sidelines a little bit by coming over here, and probably the base of hay will probably stop them from being seen, but that's just me. This guy has a pretty good front. Let's see, you have a Stug, which I am to. Let's see. Early warning is actually pretty good with this doctrine, so you can see where the enemy is, if what they're taking. And the Sexton's okay, but the problem is this map is so big that I feel like you could easily counter any like type of like artillery that the enemy would play. So that's my counterpoint to that. Would be to simply put that if you were to use this or any type of artillery, you have to make sure that it's pretty well defended. Because otherwise they see a Panzer IV blitzing across the battlefield from a flank and just neutralizing it. Oh, wow, really? Oh my god. That was one of the best fragmentation bombs I've ever seen. And not just because of the fact that the plane suicided into that unit. Those poor men. I don't know what's worse. The plane crashing next to them or the bomb coming out on them. But... again, that's the benefit of the Centaur. The Centaur tank is great at shooting down aircraft, and guess what? Until you neutralize that, like doctrines such as like the Luftwaffe supply doctrine or the what is it? The close air support doctrine. Not as effective because you can shoot down the planes before they even come in. You can technically do that with the strafes, and I know you can do that with the recon passes. So that could be a pretty big detriment if, again, one of your abilities you can no longer call in because they have a special unit. I do like that. I really do. I also think, I don't know how they would do this, but I honestly think a really, really cool doctrine they could do is a naval doctrine. Before we say Greyshot, what are you talking about? Well, remember, the British are kind of known for having an almighty navy, and if you can check out my Civilization replay, if you want to see the almighty navy, you know, possibly used in World War II, well, maybe a little bit more effectively. But overall, I would really, really enjoy, like, I don't know, special weapons, stuff like that from the British Navy coming in, or you have special units, like, that could be deployed. And before you say Greyshot, you know, British Navy, only ships can only fire so many feet in the mainland, or so many miles in the mainland. It's like, well, or, you know, if you're 4 in kilometers, but it's like, well, this game kind of has British forces in Russia, technically it's a landscape, or, you know, Russian forces in Africa, or whatever. So it also, there's a mod for zombies, so it's like, yeah, you can have your suspension of disbelief for a moment or two. Stug barely making it out of there alive. Nice grenade. I can automatically tell that was going to be big. Yeah, Pioneer Squad, while it's doing a lot of damage against the health, if it wasn't for that grenade, probably could have won, but yeah, right now they need to retreat immediately. Let's see, we have a Panther coming over here. Most likely, again, they're going to try to kill the Boffer. MG42. I wonder if he just accidentally walked his machine gun and got hit by that, or if that's been there the whole time. But again, Panther can deflect most of the shots in the front, so this Boffer is not going to stand a chance. He can just easily kill it. I do like the Boffer location, although, again, so unsupported. It's not bad for killing stragglers infantry, but again, it's just one thing. Why you would call in a fragmentation bomb, I don't know. Because your Panther would have easily killed it. So that was a waste. That was honestly a waste. Of what, 100? Yeah, you could have used that for something else. For example, you could have hit these 2 AT guns and just neutralize those, and that way your armor would be in a better position. Nice Firefly, I will say that. Firefly will easily knock out the Panzer IV, and if he does the rocket strikes correctly, he could easily kill it in like one hit. We do have a 16 artillery unit coming in. We can see it firing. Okay, yeah, it's hitting the HQ building, which could be a big, big issue, but again, it is kind of like, you know where it is. That's the big thing. You know where this thing... Wow, okay, 2 Panzer IVs. That could be an issue because I think that's a Comet... Yeah, that's definitely a Comet tank. So again, he's right here. Really surprised he can't see the building. Whatever. But since it's kind of like right here... Nice job hitting the Panzer IVs. But the Panzer IV is going to have a tough time fighting this thing because it is a heavier tank. So that is going to be a big, big problem. Panther pulling back after fighting the Firefly, which got some nice hits. Again, that's what I mean. Like, he was able to move up the Firefly, the Panther, and almost take out the Sexton. So, honestly, yeah, they're going to have to be very, very vigilant, making sure they don't get, like, a sneak attack. Because as we can see right now, they have nothing on this right flank. They have a lot of allied force on the left flank, which I say good job. Also, I really do like the placement of this MG. Because, again, you can't really flank it. You have to, like, just meet it head on or use smoke or something. Or just saying your Comet and whatever. But, yeah. Right now in my instance, I see... Wow, nice bounce. I see a big issue right now, just like the flank. This open area flank that they could easily be hit by. Sometimes people take advantage of it and will sweep through. Sometimes people think there's this huge army waiting for them, so they won't even dare touch it. But that's why recon's so important. And honestly, if you wanted to do something, you could do a recon plane and see what's over there. Let's see, the Omega Gamer currently does have a lot of armor, but so does Boost. Boost has actually a good wide range. And if we do look at overall, the Allies are winning technically because they have more men. As we can see over here, even though it's kind of equal over here, Boost and Pasha currently have a big wide gap of, as we can see over here by like difference. So you really need to like kind of make that a little bit closer for them to even win. That's just me. That's just me. That's and what they should probably do. Nice job killing the fuel point over here. That will decrease the Allies' fuel. And actually, the Axis are now winning by fuel. So if the Axis are smart, I would say either get another Panther or save up for a King. because if you save for a king, as much as I see the Comet's very powerful and the Firefly is very powerful, you need to make sure that you're very coordinated to take that out. Comparatively for the allies, I feel like a Crocodile would be a good combo, because right now the Axis don't really have a heavy unit tank. Either that or maybe another Comet. And then on the flip side, for boosts, I would say the Valentine would be a great tank to have. And it's like, Greyshot, what are you talking about? Why would you get a Valentine? Because this thing is a... Even though this is a light tank, I've seen it verse Panzer IVs and actually take quite a few hits. So it's not a bad tank, at least versing that. It can go toe-to-toe. It can't win. It's like a T-34. A T-34 can go toe-to-toe with a Panzer IV, but it can't necessarily win unless supported. As long as you have... the reason you would have that, it was like hide it behind here and do infrared so you can see where the enemy is. Oh, I'm sorry, not over here. It would be allied, so it would be over here. And that way you can see enemy movement and positioning, and you can counter it. You can use the artillery, do a direct strike. You could focus fire on that location. You could flank the enemy and like anticipate where their movement is. Nice infantry, again, kind of swarming this poor MG, which is going to get annihilated. Nice job. Also, again, nice group of high-ranking guys. Very nice. Again, the artillery, you know it's right here. There's nothing stopping you from rushing up a Panzer IV or a Panther from really taking that out. I get what you're trying to do. You're sending your Panzer IVs over to deal with this incursion, but honestly, you probably should deploy Fallschirmjägers. Maybe not here. Probably a bad move, but just rush, fire 2 shots, and run away. Especially because your Panzer IVs kind of are ranked up, so you can take a few hits and run. Something I think you should do. I feel like these Axis players are being a little bit too conservative with their men, and they should be pushing and on certain areas and then not on others. Like, this was a bad move. You know they have infantry here. Do not push in this direction. You could have easily come in from like this flank or this flank with a little bit of recon. Again, it goes a long way, and that's why I think the Valentine tank would be perfect at, well, again, allowing you to know that. Double Firefly, this Panther does not stand a chance unless supported by AT. We do have an AT gun over here. Nice job. Also, if these Fireflies wanted to, they could use the, what's it called? The, rockets. Do a lot. We have a Comet coming in from behind, which could do a lot, but we do have some AT forces kind of that can deal with that. So nice flank. We have a Panzer IV coming over here, but it's not as effective as, let's say, a Comet doing a flank. This building is so close to dying, it's not funny. Why this guy's not turning his pack, I have no idea. Nice grenade, again, from it. Honestly, though, I think this Comet may die. Wow, that was a nice already hit on that Panther. Unless this thing, like, again, we can see, maybe he's using war speed right now, I think. He's using war speed. No, he's not. He's just backing away. You tell your Royal Engineers, give yourself war speed. My God. Yep, he's gonna die. So while he did lose the HQ building, he did lose that, which is kind of bad. Honestly, right now, I think this guy just wasted opportunity. I don't know what he's been using on. I think he just deployed another Fallschirmjäger squad, maybe. But a King Tiger would be great. And before you say, hey, Greyshot, he has 2 Fireflies with munitions upgrades, so we can fire rockets and kill the King. That is true. But if you make sure the enemy is, quote-unquote, highly... Oh, wow, nice pack defense. Centaur, good job killing the infantry again. Oh, my God, focus on this building and murder it. But... Oh, wow. Yep, you're dead. You are so dead. Pack rounds again. Yep. Ah, that's why you retreat. That's why you retreat after the first round salvo. Not the second, the first. Kind of surprised he used the infantry to capture territory, but whatever. Yeah, push up and fight more units. That's what you need. Oh boy, so we have 1 Firefly and we have 2. Actually, I'm seeing a lot of Fireflies over here. That's a lot of tank destroyers. So, decent amount of infantry, decent amount of infantry. But a lot of tank destroyers. Not all around good. I mean, like, nothing. They're all hard counters. And that's why I see an opportunity here if they really, really want to. And again, this would be a stretch by any means. And I don't think a lot of Axis players would like this, per se. But something that they may want to try to do is kind of get our artillery. I would probably say like a Stuka or a Panzerwerfer would be great. And the reason is because if they're going to focus more on infantry and then tank destroyers, what you could do is make sure that you have a better line of infantry and then hard counter the infantry. Because again, right now the Allies are winning from infantry. That's it. Their armor is good. It's good. And don't get me wrong, this Sexton's been doing a lot of damage, whatever. But if they don't, and I'm being serious right now, if they don't have the infantry to back these guys up, all you need to run is like walk a Panzer Grenadier up and you can instantly wipe out any armor they have. Because again, nothing's good against like any specific target, especially right now. Look, we have 2 Sextons. So while that's great against emplacements, such as this poor sucker, it's not necessarily the best at, I don't know, fighting against that. So that's what I would kind of see right now. And before you say, oh, Greyshot, how would they ever know that's all they have? Again, they have a recon plane and they're not using it, which is kind of sad. This guy used 180 munitions on a poor airstrike against 1 infantry section, and then that plane had the even like the greater thing of just like dive bombing it. So whatever. Nice hit. Wow, the Panther, once again, coming in for the flank. Right where there are 2 Fireflies literally slowly turning to end it. Again, they're both 2-star ranking. Nice job dodging the missiles. Could have been very bad if that was a direct hit. Or very good, if depending what side you're on. Yeah. That being said, he's being a stupid idiot, and for not retreating, and I see a... Okay, and let me explain. He's not exactly showing his tactical brilliance by keeping this thing just stationary. Nice rocket shot, and I was expecting that. I was expecting another shot to kill it, and now we have a lot of Fireflies over here. Once again, flank, but don't stick around. If you know you can't do all that much damage in 2 hits, retreat. That's why, again, just like I think, moving up, pop a couple shots, using Panzer Tactician, drive away. It's literally the ultimate drive-by. And he did another strike on whatever, I'm assuming. Maybe something on a mid-target. Although I'm not really seeing all that many losses. Maybe, oh, I think you killed some of the infantry over here. So I actually gotta take it back. Maybe that was a good hit. Maybe over here, I'm not sure. Dude, move up your pack guns, my god. You got a Panzerwerfer, which I say, good job for you. But for whatever reason, you are not moving up that other thing. And it's just really starting to bug me right now. Oh, nice hit. Kill the infantry and push back the Fireflies with the upgrades. But as we can see here, we have more fire. Okay, this is a big issue right now. Although, to be fair, nice hit on killing that supply truck. And once again, the Axis players do not guard their flank to save their life. And will not push on the British flank to save their lives. I would say at least it's a good flank, but wow, you're moving up your half-damage Panzer IV? Dude, 2 shots from a Firefly is going to murder it. I don't understand your logic. I really don't. And I really don't understand this logic either. Yes, let's move up our Fallschirmjägers. We will attack this building. The plane damage will do something against here, but it's not all that powerful. Great, you cut off resources. Congratulations. You have 472. Dude. Oh my god, you have so many Fallschirmjägers. Stop it. Please. A nice cut. I will say this. One compliment. Nice cutting off supplies. But seriously, for the love of Christ, please just move up armor and flank this thing. Stop getting Fallschirmjägers. Fallschirmjägers are good, but just like the last replay, you get too much of a good thing, they're going to hard counter it. right now I see a big issue right now because the British players are just going Fireflies. And again, they can't deal with all this infantry because they're not that powerful. That being said, I will give them some credit. Wow, nice Panzer shot. I'll give them credit. Again, it looks like they're about to win. So honestly, it's probably going to be GG from here, and it'll probably just end. Oh wait, it looks like there's like 2 minutes left in the replay. So could it be that the Axis are going to somehow gain that point and hold it like a crazy person? Probably. The one thing I'll say about the Fireflies is actually pretty good is the fact that as long as they've recon this sector, they can use the Fireflies to snipe any armor that gets in that midpoint. So that's a good thing. But I feel like, again, they kind of need, as shown here, something better than Fireflies. Like something more powerful. Nice smoke grenade. I'll give them that. But you don't need smoke. And actually, I think it's actually, yeah, you're slowly killing your own unit. You're killing your unit. And honestly, what are you thinking? The Fireflies are gonna kill it? They have no armor. And if you would stop wasting resources and get to a recon plane, you would really see that, honestly, you're in a good position. That being said, I feel like the Allied players have been doing pretty good at hitting the Axis flank on this left side and doing quite a lot of damage. So, good for you guys. Nice shot with the Panzer IV. I do like the, let's see, again, tank hunters trying to push them back. Nice flare, not flare, god dang it. Artillery coming down, so that should at least keep the British back. The Axis back. We also have some artillery at this location. How are they hitting here? There's no smoke. Maybe there was and I missed it. And it looks like British are about to take control at this point. So, yep. I would figure. Oh, nice Tiger. That could be a force to deal with. But again, Fireflies will just hit the weak point because again they're upgraded. And again, the weak point's 3-star. But still, it's a very powerful unit. Also, I love how this guy keeps getting like all these Fallschirmjägers. And these Fallschirmjägers, wow, good. And I do mean they're good. You better Panzerfaust it. Alright, now go over here and Panzerfaust this. And this is why you don't send a lone tank in. You are going to get completely surrounded. Oh my. You could have Panzerfausted it and killed it before you killed the Stug. And you could have pulled out very quickly. But no, of course not. They're 5 points remaining. They're going to move a target in there. That was an incredible shot with the Firefly. Probably the luckiest shot I've seen killing something. But that being said, I think I've hit the actual mechanized unit. Dude, why do you keep a tank in there? My god. You know the Fireflies are there. Just have the Tiger. Don't sacrifice your unit. That being said, very nice shot, Fireflies was just sniping them. And here's an idea. Since you have no longer any type of anti-infantry, you better run with those sextons because otherwise you're going to be hammered. This Tiger's moving up like, you see me rolling. And like there's really nothing that can stop it. One shot. Almost dead. I'm just going to state that and move on. My problem is right now is if we look at the Axis though, they have a decent amount of men, but they still don't have enough as the Allies. The Allies don't exactly have the amount of great infantry and armor they once had, but Panzer shot I feel is kind of a waste. Why are you using its armor? You're probably gonna end up sacrificing. Yep, there goes your Fallschirmjäger. Dude, you have 530 fuel. Get a Stuka, get a King Tiger, get a Panther, get anything. Get a Luke's. I don't care. Just get something else. Before you say Greyshot, hey Greyshot, why would you get a Luke's? Run into the back of the base, kill a bunch of units, run out. That's all you need to do. Kill units going off by themselves, half cocked to take territory. Anything. For these British players, I actually feel like they're doing a pretty good job at keeping a good range of armor and infantry. That being said, I feel like their armor selection could be a bit, wider. But whatever. Now all they have to do is capture this point, and it's pretty much GG. I'm very surprised that the Axis don't actually try to go for this point, because you could literally send one unit. Also, wow, and we're going to see here again why this airborne assault is kind of terrible, because you can see it's kind of coming in, not doing really anything to the armored vehicles. Honestly, you should have probably waited until this point got decapped and then used it here, because that would have been at least a special to use. We do have a nice plane coming in, so I'm actually curious to see if that would actually do a lot. Yes, it did. That was a nice bombing run. Very nice. Without the Centaur, they are unable to shoot it down, which allows them to pretty much hit it. This MG is probably in a bad position, because it's kind of being obscured by this building, so we can't really see. We have a Panzerwerfer shot coming in. Most likely it's going to kill this unit, I do assume. Yep, there it goes. And I feel like the Axis do have the advantage in this section, because right now the British think, oh, let's just put an infantry unit in there, we win the game. And I feel like this is where people start messing up, because they start throwing out tactics, and they start being like, okay, all we need to do is capture the point. That's all that matters. And truly it isn't. That's not what matters. How this thing, maybe there was a mine or something, I don't know. But yeah, that's the big issue right now, is the fact they don't really have a lot. Is like, people forget, it's like, well, they're still here, and as long as they're holding right, they're fine. So I actually feel like this Axis defense is pretty good. But, well, there we go. Finally, we got we got a King Tiger, everybody. Congratulations. You know what would be great right now? A Stuka. Actually, I take it back. You know what would be great right now? A Searchlight. Because then you can see the enemy coming in, and you can anticipate, oh, they're sending in tank hunters. Alright, we'll bring up the MG. Or, oh, they're bringing in the, quote-unquote, these units on the flank. Oh, or like the Fireflies. Okay, we can counter that. But overall, the Axis is doing a really good job just holding that point. Using, again, they're not trying to sacrifice units per se. I mean, this Pioneer Squad's probably going to be toast. But they're being, oh my god, why are you moving up this Panzerwerfer? Why? Oh, you know what he did? He probably told to attack, and he didn't. He messed up. Yeah, that cost them the game. Oh, wait, no, they actually have the southern point. Do you even see that? They have the southern point. How are you in the water? Can you actually walk in that water? I guess you can around the edges. Oh, wow, look, he actually got something else. He got a comment. Yeah, I feel like he lost the Panzerwerfer because of, well, yes. And now this is the part where the Axis are starting to fall into it. Because now it's like, okay, we need to capture this point. While there's artillery and stuff coming down. It's like, no. Wow, those Fireflies, man. They're actually doing some damage. They're tank destroyers, so typically they won't do anything. But occasionally they'll do a nice hit. Wow, never mind. British artillery is actually starting to kill his own units. Good job. And Fallschirmjägers, again, being really good. Why did you retreat? Oh, nice Tiger shot. I'm actually curious. He probably... No, he still has a lot of Fallschirmjägers. I take it back. He's actually doing a good job with them and keeping them alive. This king, right now, is frustrating me to... You have no idea. Because... Well, this king, well, I think this would be a great, like, again, oh my god, turn your turret. Prioritize vehicles. Never mind, the King Tiger was a bad choice for you. Just get yourself a Panther or 2 Panthers. You're going to probably lose this thing before it can turn, huh? Oh, wow, it shocked both of them? Come on, Tiger. Nope. Really? Pashok left? Are you kidding me? This is why you leave? Dude, this in the last 2 seconds of the game. Oh my god. You leave because you lost your King Tiger that you had, I want to quote, 400 fuel for. Yeah, your teammate Pashok messed that up. He truly did. Because why would he quit? Why would you quit? You're fine. You're good. Also, there's another plane strike coming in, and they're suppressed, so goodbye. I will admit, I've never seen the fragmentation bomb used this effectively. Like, in a while. It's been a long while since I've used it that effectively. So right now, there is an advantage and a disadvantage. The good thing is, the great thing about the AI is that they will make sure that they send as many units toward the enemy as possible. They will make sure the enemy is constantly being hit. The problem is they won't exactly guard a point. So as long as you have the AI kind of fighting and kind of doing it, and then you kind of have yourself guarding, you're fine. But right now you're actually down on resources, like some manpower, munitions, etc. So you really need to make sure that you're okay. You could probably... Okay, you got yourself another tiger after your last one died. That's pretty good. But right now, I don't see you having that much of a defensive line per se. So you're probably going to lose. Although, to be fair, both sides did a great job. I feel like, again, the Allies did an okay job. I feel like if Pashkok didn't quit and he was a competent player, the Axis would have won. But because of a really stupid move where he's... Like, I don't even know what that King Tiger was doing down here. I guess he was trying to flank, but, again, he didn't have any support, which is the big thing, is, like, I keep saying get a King Tiger, but this thing, the unsaid rule with any armor is make sure it's just guarded. Like, make sure that you're smart about it. But right now they have a lot of infantry moving up, and I'm assuming they're going to move up the Fireflies once it gets healed. Try to pick off this Tiger. As long as they have the AT gun over here, they should be okay. Looks like we have some artillery coming in. Looks like they're going to knock out the AT gun. If they do that, it's pretty much GG, because the Firefly can move in pretty much unbothered. Nice job killing a lot of stuff. You could hide behind this building, okay? They have a lot of packs. This is where a Panzerwerfer shot would be great, or type of artillery. Wow, that almost killed it. My god. That's where it would be great, like right here. You do have the AI, but the AI is not being as smart and going for this point, which is also showing why the AI can be incredibly stupid, even though the AI is going for this point, which I don't understand why. Nice Panzerwerfer shot. You did a good job killing the infantry, but alas, there's so much of it that you really can't do much. Yeah. Like I said, the AI will go after points, just not the point you want. With that, it's going to count down, and it's pretty much GG. Yep. And at least everyone admits it. Right now, I feel like the worst player was Pashok. He never really had armor, and Red Guy was actually spent a lot of time defending this point and actually taking this objective and stuff like that. Well, I didn't really see him do all that much. He lost KW buildings. He kept being hit by his flank, and he was pretty much a bad player. On the flip side, Boost, I feel like, was a pretty good player. He always had a front line, always doing it. He didn't really use a lot of specials, and I really think a Valentine tank with infrared could have helped him. But overall, he did a pretty good job with his Fireflies and movement. Again, his Fireflies were really, really good. Ping did an okay job. His Comets were easily killed, and I feel like even with the whole fighting on the left side, he was a little bit more sporadic with either being really good or making really bad decisions. His infantry were normally pretty good, but that being said, his armor, again, he would typically have a good tank, but I questioned his armor attacks and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much game. Let's check points. Best player was Boost, 47, nearly 48,000. But kills wise, Ping was better, although he did lose more units. Pashok got more damage. I'm actually surprised about that. Maybe it's your Panzerschreck or something. I don't know. I feel like you could have done more with your armor, and I feel like a Stuka would have been great. I feel like yourself getting a Stuka instead of getting like 2 Fallschirmjäger squads. Just get a Stuka and a King, and you could have literally held the midpoint with an iron grip. But since you literally charge with a King with no support into enemy territory, which they mind, of course it's gonna die. Most kills go to Mega Gamer barely, but I feel like he was a better player in my eyes. Just holding that point. But again, that's just me. Maybe I missed something that made this guy a lot better. But yeah, his rage quit pretty much showed that. Like, yeah. Anyway. I want to thank you guys for watching. Really hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you send in those replays before the 25th, because again, on that date, all replays will be wiped. So if you want me to see a replay, please let me know. I will go through a ton of replays over the next, probably today, tomorrow, and the following before the update. That way I get as many replays as possible, so that I have a nice buffer zone. But yeah, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.